The Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal big footy rules still apply.
You are a coward.
You are Andrew Mackie.
You are Andrew Mackie of podcasts. And if you did your own podcast, it would just be average and terrible. But because you're with us, we've made you into this great podcaster that everybody knows. Be great.
Alright, so this is the Flogcast for round 9. The number one fan of Damien Hardwick from Richmond, Burnsy, is here, and I'm joined by the head of the Ty Vickery fan club from Hawthorn, Peensy.
Ryan Burton, that is all. Thanks, North.
The Flogcast's resident defeaters flog from North, Dansy.
Yeah, sorry, that Jed Anderson thing sort of put me off. I was going to say something else.
The holder of Collingwood's 2016 leading goal kicker trophy, Morgsy.
Hello.
And the Andrew Mackie of podcasts from St Kilda, Cooksy.
Hello.
Goo or tears? Who wants to go first?
Tears. Absolute tears.
You've got some this week.
I actually do have something this week.
Do go on.
I've come to the sad realisation that every team in the AFL as of right now is either average or shit. There are no good teams in the competition now. Everyone is just average or shit.
Congratulations, AFL. You got what you wanted.
You've got Adelaide, who are on top of the ladder, who are not even going to make the finals this year. It's true. They're not going to make the 8 this year. I'm sick of tipping 2s and 3s every week. It's
such
crap.
a defeaters flog, man.
Listen, the AFL Commission needs to have one of them extraordinary emergency meeting type sort of things, right? And they need to make a very difficult and unpopular decision. They need to scrap the final series and end the season after round 10.
Every club has done that last year. North would have won the flag.
Every club has a bigger preseason, and hopefully they all improve, and we just try again for 2018.
What the Where has this come from?
Every
Would you
team
prefer it with Hawthorn getting lucky every week and winning 3 in a row, Dan? Would you prefer we went back to that?
Well, there's some predictability in that, in having a team that's clearly number one. Who is the best team in the competition right now? Who?
I don't know. We can find out.
Exactly.
We can find out later. We don't have
That's
to know
why
in
we've
round
got-
8. Premierships aren't won in May.
No, but it's just shit. Every team is either average or shit this year.
Any given Sunday, Dan. Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday. No team is invincible. Surely that's good enough.
No, I don't like it. It feels alien.
I'm just saying.
I reckon the 18-team comp has diluted the talent pool too much. Merge North with Gold Coast and...
Why don't we go back to
Sydney
you
Pains.
merging with Melbourne and going to Tassie?
Well, yeah, that can be the second merger. There we go. We've just solved it. 16 teams again.
North Gold Coast
Melbourne Hawks
two
and-
Sydney teams.
And
No,
North...
2 Sydney teams.
Nah, Gold Coast Kangaroos and Melbourne Hawks. Done. Thanks, Penal. And Dan?
No, cut the season short. Be done with it.
10-round season. Look, I have tears, obviously, for Richmond as a whole. Everything from the playing group who didn't turn up till three-quarter time to the retard coach to the fucking to the melty
You're being too hard.
to the melty supporters who decided to go full smasher and pluck out any conspiracy they could, apparently, about the umpires. There was so much umpire hate, and there were only a couple of bad decisions. There were a handful, but, you know.
That last 21 seconds has nothing to do with the umpires.
No, none of it has
Nothing.
anything to do with the umpires. Like, fucking someone posted on TLC, the Savo, that the Richmond board, someone reckons it's Indian bookmakers or some shit are the reason Richmond's losing these games. It's just like, no, no, it's...
No.
Why don't you just stop?
Yeah,
Please just stop. Just stop.
really, if there weren't better candidates like North, Gold Coast, Melbourne and Hawthorn to merge, I'd say merge us, but no, there's better candidates. Just, for fuck's sake, honestly.
No, but surely merging Richmond, you're doing their supporters a favour, like putting them out of their misery after 35 years.
Or you're
this
just
shit.
adding that misery to somebody else by Richmonding them. It was horrendous, though. We did not deserve to win. And even then, still, despite all that, my tears are gooier than fucking Dan's contribution this week.
Well, I'm just speaking the truth, man. Every team there's just average this year. I mean, there's no good team. Adelaide, who's supposedly the best team that everyone said was premiership favourites, got pantsed by North Melbourne last week and then got belted by Melbourne on their home deck. Richmond, who have lost the last 3 games, are in the top 4.
No, we're not. We're 7th.
You sure?
Yes.
You're in the top 7 then, whatever. Every team...
Hey, last Someone won from 7th last year. It's a good omen.
That's true.
But doesn't matter. No one's going to win from 7th because no one's going to win the flag because there are no good teams, right, Dan?
Nah, whoever's in 7th place after round 10 gets the flag in Dan's world.
Oh,
What
so
a
trying
chance
to
this
get a
world
chance.
that sounds like. Why would you come up with Dan's World? I mean, that's crap.
Dad's World, party time. Excellent.
Is it anything like Wally World?
No, Morgs, there's definitely no partying in Dan's world. It's all misery and grey.
Sounds like North Korea.
Who wants to go next?
I'm going to have Goo to lighten up, the occasion. But Goo for, I was watching the Formula 1 last night. There was this kid who was sad and crying because Kimi Räikkönen crashed out. So they grabbed...
Fucking stop. Oh. Okay,
They
sorry.
grabbed the kid. The kid went back with Kimi Räikkönen, had some photos taken, got a free hat, free merch,
Free hat.
probably drowned a couple of shots of vodka with Kimi. He does enjoy a drink. So yeah, good on Ferrari and good on Kimi Räikkönen.
Judging by the sound of the background noise, you might have just stolen Penal's thing.
Yeah, I was 100% going to have that as my goo as well, but good on for getting in early. In that case, I will just repeat what I said in the intro and say have goo over Ryan Burton, who is now the clear favourite for the Rising Star Award.
Fuck me.
Hashtag Peensy.
Oh joy for the next Joel Bowden of the competition. Go, you good thing.
Don't you knock Joel Bowden.
I'll knock him and then some. He was a stat merchant, and
no.
now we're going to the next
Jesus.
reincarnation making in this Ryan
Get
Burton fella.
fucked. Jewel, that is Jewel
Unlike
Jewel Australian
Ryan
Joel Bowden
Burton
for
is
you.
actually a good player.
All-Australian Joel Bowden. And how did he get this All-Australian acknowledgement? By beating his defenders? Or did he get cheapy sideways stats to boost his
I'm
numbers?
pretty certain he was named at centre half back. He played man on man on Jonathan Brown at times. Because
And he never beat him once.
He did. He smashed him in one game.
How could he? How could he? Joel Bowden is a little
He smashed him.
halfback
He absolutely
stat
he smashed
merchant.
him in one game.
If you can produce video footage of him doing that, then I will.
I don't think they
happily
show
submit.
full games of it anymore, but I'll see if I can dig up the match report.
Will you do that?
Yeah,
Gustus?
he
You do that.
You're just a barrel of laughs today, Dan.
You just want to suck the joy out of life.
I bet you
This guy's
fucking
trying
would've
to tell me
taken-
that Joel Bowden was a great player and an All-Australian superstar. He was a stat
He was a
merchant.
fucking all-Australian superstar.
Well, he shouldn't have got one.
Oh.
That's criticisable of the Brownlow-esque. I mean,
Oh,
it's
don't
not right.
now don't knock Pritis either. For fuck's sake, Dan.
To be fair, All-Australian doesn't mean much anymore. I mean, Big Boy McAvoy is going to get the nod this year. But can we go back to talking about Ryan Burton? Because this guy, he could be the best kicker of the football since Darren Jarman. That's how good he is.
Oh, fuck off.
Please.
Wank,
Please.
wank, wank. Yeah, let's all join Dan with this one.
Aaron Jones.
He's a good footballer. Come on.
Oh,
Is he?
that's
We
great.
we
Everyone
don't
has
get a
to
lot of
work out good footballers.
we
Here or
don't get a lot of good youth that we get to go about at Hawthorn. We tend to buy them in from other clubs, so it's good to.
Well, what's wrong with Tyron Vickery? Why can't you do about him?
Terry Wallace reckons he should be traded. Did anyone see that?
Oh yeah, I read about that. Well, who would want?
That's like how Sydney tried to trade Kurt Tippett last year. It's like nobody's doing that.
No, nobody's not going to want your crap.
Well, I reckon if there was mid-season trading and Melbourne
West
were
Coast.
really desperate, they would.
No way.
Melbourne,
Cameron,
West Coast, 'cause they
Cameron
need
Pedersen is
someone.
miles ahead of Tyron Vickery.
That's
Miles
true.
ahead. And he's not even a ruckman. He's just a 190 centimetre utility player. He's miles ahead of Vickery.
He's not miles ahead of Ryan Burton, though.
Ryan Burton only looks good in comparison because he's playing alongside Josh Gibson.
And he's getting a lot of cheapy out the back sort of. He's doing what Lyndon Dunn did at Melbourne. He'd kick it to himself from full back and then get another stack and kick it outside 50.
To be fair, that's 50% of kickouts these days.
And you know who did it before Lyndon Dunn? Joel Bowden did it. And
No, he didn't.
he was great at it. Yes, he
No.
was. He was brilliant.
He's a great footballer, Dan.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Define great.
Dual All-Australian.
Yeah, I can't really go. I can't really defend. Yeah, okay. But still, he was a stat merchant. What? Like Simon Prestigiacomo wasn't a stat merchant, but he was a really, really good defender.
Yeah, and
Right.
Bowden turned into a pretty good defender by the time. Like he started
No,
as a
he
halfback
wasn't.
flanker, and then he started.
That's a myth.
It's
just-
not a
it's just-
fucking myth.
Just because he played in the back line and his numbers were really, really good does not necessarily mean he was a great defender.
He was given defensive roles. He was given defensive roles on Jonathan Brown and I think
By
Pavlich.
defending the ball?
Yes, by defending the ball, like actually going
By
with
kicking the ball back and forth to his teammates?
going with Brown on the lead and putting on a spoil.
kick it
That
back,
sort of
kick it to me.
defensive play. Partly it was for a
me.
lack of...
No, I don't want you to go forward. Kick it to me.
That was like one game where him and his brother did that. And you know what? We fucking won that game.
Oh, one game.
Anyway.
Come on.
Morgs.
No, I'm just a lightning rod for shit today. First Cookie steals my goo, and then Dan steals my airtime to fucking be negative about Joel Bowden. I bet Dan's the sort of guy who would have taken that hat off that poor crying kid.
Fun sponge.
I felt like texting that social behaviour number when I was at the footy Sunday.
Oh, you are a buzzkill.
I am.
Why?
This little kid, he didn't have a flag, but
For a little kid.
no, this kid, no, he didn't have a flag, but he was just crying and screaming the whole time. He wouldn't shut up.
You can't.
Should have given him a hat and a shot of vodka.
There's this little kid in my bay that keeps fucking crying. Get rid of him. Kick him out.
Well, if you're one of the parents, you pick up the kid and you sit somewhere else, or you take him outside. Or,
Was the kid there with his mother?
yeah, and
Kick the
you get
mother
him
out on
ice
Mother's
cream, or
Day. That's Dan, all right.
Put something in his mouth or something. I don't care. Just shut him up. I'm trying to watch the footy, and all I'm hearing is.
It needed old mate Rolf there to put something in its mouth.
Oh,
Hang on.
jeez.
Even the buzzkill said, "Oh,
Even I wouldn't have gone there with that.
no," because it might have been fun, and you wouldn't want that.
What's fun about Rolf Harris and putting things in kids' mouths?
Oh,
You're
it's
sick.
Fun for Rolf. It's fun
You
for
are
him.
sick.
it's a great time.
Tie me kid down, sport. Tie me kid down.
Morgs, you go.
I've got goo for the birth of baby Pendlebury. It must have happened Saturday afternoon because he wasn't fucking at the game.
Pendlebury have a very unaccountable performance today.
We might have fucking won if the captain turned up.
Dan, he didn't play.
Did you see him troll after half time?
Yes.
Ran up the race. Oh, what a pisser! Went to the toilet. That was funny.
Everyone thought he was leaving, and it was just like...
It was like, oh, here he goes. This is it. It's happening. Even you thought it was happening, Starburst.
I did. I thought it was happening. I was like, surely not. Like once this first siren goes and he's out there, you got to stick it out. You know, you can't. That's a captaincy sacking offence if he left during that game.
Let's just hope that he's more accountable as a parent than he is as a footballer, or else he might go to the football and just let his kid cry all the time and disturb the people around him.
No, who would want that?
Rolf,
Who would want that?
let's move on to the recaps, and I guess we'll stay on Collingwood GWS then.
No, let's talk about Richmond first.
Well, we were going to talk about that first, but we're transitioning from your Pendlebury goo. So Collingwood GWS first, the first of the robberies, I guess, of the weekend.
Right in front of me.
Steve,
In front of me.
Joy, you took the tension off Stevie J and he's placed on the side for at least another month. He did nothing in that game, and then 10 seconds of brilliance.
yes, look, that's another person. See, Morgs and I actually discussed this before we came on, that for all the wankery about how good he was and 24 disposals, really, that was just about the only good thing he did. He kicked one goal before that, but it was an easy goal. But
Absolutely.
what's with all the goo over Stevie J's 24 Rockcliffe-esque disposals?
Because he's Stevie J.
Yeah, and because he kicked the goal at the end. That was what he did. That was his contribution. Let's not pretend it was anything better than that.
Before that
If he
goal,
missed
he
that
was
goal-
looking cooked. He was burnt toast. Like, he just bought him effectively an extra month by that one
I
goal.
agree.
I'm a Stevie J fan, but I'd given up before that goal. Like when they said, oh, there's room for, it's Stevie J time with 10 minutes to go. I think we're going to get something from Stevie J. I literally snorted and I went, no, those days are over. And I guess he had one last hurrah in him. But yeah, he's got about as much life in his career now as, Dan on here. What else do we want to talk about out of that game, though, apart from Stevie J?
Nothing at all.
Pendlebury?
Pendlebury, when is he going to stand up? Like, I know that he had a good game a couple of weeks ago or some shit. Some people tell me that. I don't really remember. But, oh, fuck. He has been woeful this year. Woeful.
I'll tell you, someone who did have a good game was Braden Maynard. He was almost the match-winning hero with 2 last quarter goals, which would have been interesting.
I don't know if you've watched the replay 7,000 times like I have, but you'll casually see Braden fucking Maynard trolling in behind Stevie J, letting him be goal side when there's 20 seconds to go.
The 20 seconds thing seems to be a theme last weekend.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, well, it was a minute, whatever. It doesn't matter how long it was. It was just fucking deplorable. Why you would have Stevie J and not be goal side of him is just, boggles mind. I've never played a game of football before and I wouldn't do it.
No.
Fucking stupid. It's not like he's hard to catch.
No.
He's 400 years old.
But he still managed to burn him off somehow as well.
Because he had done fuck all game.
Well, he may be getting slow, but I think his footy smarts is still
his footy
very
smarts
much
put him
there.
in a great position, but even then...
Ask Wayne Carey, you don't lose footy smarts. You don't lose smarts and you don't lose skill, mate. That's what he told Dale Thomas on Saturday night at the Emerson. You'll never lose it, mate. You've still got it. No, you don't, Dale. End melt.
What else have we got in that game? Like, do you want to at least mention what we were discussing before about the repeat inside 50s?
Yeah. Oh, no, this is like drawing blood. Why are you doing this to me? It hurts.
Well, you could always be a defeatist flog and it wouldn't.
No, I will not be a defeatist flog. It was just inevitable. Like it felt, you could feel it coming. We gave them opportunity after opportunity and repeat inside 50s, and you just know that a team with that many players with that level of ability are going to punish you eventually. And we just couldn't hold on long enough. And we probably could have if Jared Blair didn't slide into somebody's legs. I don't know what he was doing.
Did you get swallowed up by the orange tsunami?
Yeah, I think so. And that goal umpire who thought it was a goal when it missed by 1.5 meters, bitch gets her eyes tested.
Are you sure that was the goal umpire that was going to call it a goal? I thought
It was
the
a goal umpire. The
what-
field umpire came in and said, no, it went the wrong side. Review that.
Like, it would have been reviewed on the way back to the middle, but like it should never have got that far. We should have been able to continue.
Like if it hits the post but goes the right side, but just braces the post, that happens. But Jesus, you should have been able to see that. You fucking incompetent.
It missed, and it clearly missed. She obviously didn't see it, but she had no idea because when she called it a point, she actually touched the post and said it was she said it was touched. And it wasn't touched. She's like, no, it just missed. Like, bitch, get with it.
Yeah, she was like, I'm not sure if it was, can you do a score review? I think it's a goal, but I'm not sure if it was touched.
One last thing before we move on. Penal made a comment, and has made a comment last week about Big Boy McAvoy and the All-Australian Ruckman. Who is the All-Australian Ruckman, Morgs?
Brody Grundy.
Absolutely. He was the reason Collingwood were all over.
Absolutely mammoth.
And when he went out of the game, Collingwood struggled, like when he started to fade a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying he only plays like half a good game and drifts in and out of games?
No,
Okay.
I think he was fairly spent by the last quarter because they didn't have a backup ruckman and their forward line wasn't functional.
Yeah, so they had to put more in the ruck.
Yeah.
Who didn't actually do a bad job.
He actually was doing better than Grundy at that stage, like by how Grundy was playing in the last quarter.
But he was absolutely huge in the first quarter.
I've said it before on here that I believe Shane Mumford to be terribly overrated based on the fact that he
just a
occasionally
bully
backs
for a
blokes.
ruckman. He's not that good at a ruckman.
I think people are finally cluing onto that in the media. I
don't know what the big deal is with him. Grundy's owned him the last 3 times they've played.
He's a very average footballer that gets overrated on the fact that he occasionally belts someone and...
He lays a big tackle.
So you're saying he's just like Luke Hodge?
No, he's not just like Luke Hodge.
Yeah, you are.
No, Shane Mumford's stocks are inflated based on the fact that he throws his weight around as a ruckman and everyone's like, oh, good, that's exactly what he should be doing.
That's exactly what happens with Luke Hodge. He throws his weight around
No.
down back when really he's not even Joel Bowden level.
Whenever Luke Hodge whacks someone, everyone says, oh,
Joel
gee, what a
Bowden's name and
thug.
Luke Hodge's name in the same sentence.
I know, it's disrespectful to Bowden. He never got done drink driving. He didn't try and kill anyone on field.
One's a Norm Smith medalist and a premiership winning player, and the other's a stat merchant.
Yeah, and one's a thuggy, not very good bloke.
Who drinks drives.
Who's overrated because he throws his weight around and snipes
I'm not
people.
disputing that aspect of Luke Hodge, but one's clearly... I'm not even going to get into this with you. You're a moron. You know Joel Bowden is a stat merchant and nothing more.
Speaking of Joel Bowden, Richmond Freo.
What?
Paddle sigh 100 times over.
If only Richmond had Joel Bowden for this game, right?
Yes, if Joel Bowden was playing, that wouldn't have happened.
Because you were really good back then.
Or, if we had more than one extra behind the ball, or, we turned up before three-quarter time. All those things.
If you lose in the last 21 seconds, it's on the players. The coach has done all he can at that point to extract the maximum out of his players. And it's on the players to get the on-field leadership right to be able to get the right number of players behind the ball.
This loss is 100% on your captain and its senior players. This has nothing to do with the coach.
It has plenty to do with the coach.
No.
Because we never should have been in that position.
No, in the 21 seconds that you lost, the Fremantle coach spent him in an elevator because he knew there was nothing he could do there.
Yeah, so why weren't our players coached into 20-second scenario?
You can't coach shit into a team when there's 20 seconds to go.
No, but why are they not ready for that scenario? Where was the coaching?
You can't coach footballing instinct.
Brian Lake was on AFL 360 earlier in the season, and he said Alistair Clarkson regularly at Hawthorn training at the end of basically one session a week would put a clock up. They'd have a scoreboard with 2 minutes to go. He'd give him a scenario. Go ahead and work it out. You know what?
Yeah,
the way Richmond play, there's clearly that shit's not practiced because it happens.
On-field leadership from Luke Hodge to be able to enact that plan in a game situation.
Something you wouldn't get from Joel Bowden, that's for sure.
Richmond get it wrong so many times that it is clearly not trained because there's no way you would only have one spare behind the ball and Rioli sitting on the wing on his own at the centre bounce. That's a structural thing. But that being said, we did not deserve to win. We were rat shit for 3 quarters, and as I said, everything is fucked. And finally, I'm being proven right. I said it would take care of itself.
Hardwick is the man. He's not a great coach.
He's a terrible coach.
He's a great coach. He's got your team.
He's a terrible coach. He picks spuds like Batchelor and Castagna. Like seriously, Jake Batchelor, number 7 in Moffra's bottom 50 last year, is getting the game.
He's given Toby Nankervis a game, and he's going to be the All-Australian ruckman this year.
No, he's not. And Nankervis is doing all right, but he wasn't his recruitment, was he? Your recruiting department takes care of your recruiting. Otherwise, I'd be blaming Hardwick for Prestia.
He's no big boy McAvoy.
Where was Prestia anyway?
Injured. Well, injury's the story. He's been shit, really. And of course, Anthony Miles got dropped when you need a clearance mid. You go and drop your 3rd best clearance player.
Your 7th best player?
Our 7th best player was probably one of our best 3 on the weekend. He was one of the few who was pretty good outside of the last quarter.
Oh, what was it? Fucking George Costanza guy. He had an absolute shocker.
He's crap. He's dead set crap. He should have been dropped weeks ago and Sam Lloyd should have played instead. I don't know what he's there for.
Wasn't he like God's gift to football weeks ago?
No, he was like the Ringo Starr of our forward line. Okay? Like the others were all doing really good things and he was sort of being carried. And that's actually disrespectful to Ringo because he at least sang all the silly songs that Paul and John didn't want to sing.
Hey, do not knock Ringo Starr. That man narrated Thomas the Tank Engine, which is a show that I loved when I was a little boy. So don't you knock Ringo Starr.
You liked things once upon a time?
Yes, I did.
Dan, you'd be really pissed off. I went and bought Thomas the Tank Engines this week, and there's like all these new ones. Like there's a Christina and a Rosie, and all these like girl ones. Not the original.
I'm against female trains in the Thomas the Tank Engine.
No, there's like ones.
Is there a Thomas the Tank Engine replacement bus, Morgs?
Yeah. It's called the Dan. The bus is called...
It's like a sad, depressing bus that everyone hates on the show. Oh, here comes the Dan bus.
It picks up the guy eating the smelly Chinese food.
It smells like stinky food.
No, it is. That actually is shit. If you're on a bus that's packed and you're sitting next to someone with stinky food,
there's babies crying and.
Well, that was at the footy. I mean, you got a screaming little infant that's screaming shit in your ear, and you're trying to watch the footy.
So why is it worse at the football than on a bus?
Well,
hang on. I think I found Dan's trifecta. It's like the train lines are in maintenance or something, and then he has to take the bus to the footy, and then someone's got stinky Chinese food or something, and then there's a baby crying, and yeah.
I'll take Joel Bowden's one.
I think that
stinky food.
That all combined one day, and ever since that day, he's been like this.
And someone's watching the AFL live app on their phone, and all the teams are average or shit. There's the quaddie.
Oh, jeez. I like how you've all stockpiled all the things that I've said, and it's just...
We have a good track record of this.
Oh, trackboard, yes, of course, trackboard. Even though I didn't even say trackboard. Anyway.
Your only thing to drink is strawberry Big M.
And you're going to watch Adelaide play at the Dome where they're going to win because they've got a good track record.
Back to Richmond. No, Castagna's been crap for a while. Like he plays like a millionaire, yet he has the talent of a
Maynard?
yeah.
Which historical Richmond player would you compare him to on a scale of 1 to Joel Bowden?
He's a slightly more talented Steve Morris, was where I was going with that. He's Steve Morris if Steve Morris had passable AFL skills.
Steve Morris still on your list?
Yeah, he got a game 2 weeks ago because genius coach Hardwick picked him against the Crows and didn't even play him on bets like everyone assumed he was going to. Anything else on Richmond, Freo? Come on. Dan's just derailing this episode like a
Like a bus.
Yeah, like track work, yeah.
You can't derail a bus. A bus is on the road. A train's on
Oh,
the
no,
track.
they have those buses in Adelaide of all places that run on the bloody rail.
Call that a tram, you moron.
No, they have buses that run on a rail.
They have electric buses that are on
How do
elevated.
you have a bus on a rail? Then it's a train then. It's not a bus.
No, but
No,
it's a bus.
they-
It's got wheels, like tyres and shit.
Yeah, it's a bus with elevated
Regardless,
power
I
lines.
don't give a shit about how they go about in Adelaide. Who cares?
I've seen them in Vienna. They have them.
Oh, who cares? Vienna, Italy, Japan. I don't give a shit. Fuck them.
We've added a few countries
Richmond
to Dan's
is-
list of places that are no.
Richmond is
Countries
shit.
on shit.
They're part of the... I don't know where they sit in the average to shit ratio that I was going on about earlier, but Damien Hardwick is still a great coach, and he's going to be at Richmond for the next 10 years. He'll be the next Sheedy of coaching who will stay at one club forever, and yeah.
So Damien Hardwick's the only thing in the world you like, then?
Oh, that's depressing. Don't say that.
It's depressing.
It was a question, Dan, because you don't seem to like anything else. You don't like it when North wins.
Am I just a general narc in life? I hate everything.
Yeah, you've become our curmudgeon.
Do you like Wentworth, Dan?
I like Wentworth. Oh, how good was Wentworth last week?
Oh, imagine if you didn't have a tongue, Dan.
Oh, God.
You wouldn't be
Is
able to
it
complain
wrong
about
for
anything.
me to be rooting for the freak just to destroy everything in that show?
Well, it's much better when she's up and about.
Yeah, it is. I'm happy to talk about Wentworth. It's
Talk
surviving.
about something Dan likes, guys.
Yeah, let's move on. Eagles held on against the Bathwater, the brave Bathwater, if you caught this game. How brave were the Dogs? West Coast held on despite kicking only 1 goal in the second half.
Did they get brave again, the Dogs?
Oh, they were so brave. You know, and they can do anything. Did anyone catch Basil Zemplis' commentary of this game?
No.
I'll say
What happened?
Well, with
What do
10
the
seconds,
Scoopers do
10
now?
seconds to go and the ball in West Coast's forward line and the margin 7 points.
There's still a chance.
Basil was still talking up the Doggies' chances.
Oh, you fucking clown.
Like, this guy is literally AIDS in human form.
that's probably harsh on AIDS.
Yeah, that's true. He's Dan.
Hey,
He sucks all the life out of, sucks all the fun out of it all.
Don't associate me with Basil's Zemplis, okay?
That's a step too
going
far.
Way too. Aren't we all unison on our dislike for this piece of shit from WA?
Yes, I think literally every football fan is like. I think we've asked this before. Does anybody like Basil? Does his wife even
No,
like him?
God, no.
Does she root Sam Gilbert instead?
Even in WA, I don't think anyone actually likes him.
His mum probably doesn't even like him. Like Basil walks off with flowers for Mother's Day. Basil's mum tells him to fuck off.
Anything else out of this game?
Caleb Daniel played well.
Did he?
Apparently, I didn't even watch it.
Yeah,
So
I think he had a good game.
Whatever. Who cares?
Boyd was shithouse again. Redpath probably gonna boot him from the team after coming
I
back.
don't know how
with 3
Redpath
goals.
gets a game, to be honest. Ever since they took out that third
But he's
man
better
up.
than Boyd.
He's better than Boyd. He kicked 3 goals in his first game back in AFL football since the knee reco.
What's Redpath ever done in a grand final? Nothing.
Injury troll.
Yeah, he did his fucking knee. Yeah, and eventually Boyd's gonna have to. You know what? He'll be able to talk about that forever. But the further we get from there, the less we can keep going back to Boyd's one good game of his career.
He's going to get dropped eventually if he keeps this up.
Look, if Tom Boyd's career is defined by one grand final game, as good as that grand final was, he will not quite be a recruitment bust, but
he's a $1 million Mitch
uh,
Morton.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anything else on the Dogs West Coast?
No, I want them.
Yeah, just
Where
two
do these
average
teams? Yeah, I was going to say where do these
average.
two teams
Average.
average?
Yeah, average teams.
Speaking of average teams, Geelong.
Oh,
Bruise-free footy.
Yep. And you know what? Motlop wasn't even the most bruise-free player they had.
Oh, there were a
Of course
fair
not.
few of them.
Mackie played.
he did too.
Motlop laid more tackles than Selwood and Danger combined.
Ooh.
Vic Labs is a waste of space.
So I thought you were going to say semen. What was the stat you found, Cooksy?
They had the largest tackle discrepancy ever recorded by champion data.
15 tackles to half time.
Yeah, like even late in the third quarter, they only had like 20 to their name. It's like that's got to be an all-time low.
That's literally pathetic. Like 15 tackles, like the record's for more than 15 in a game for a single player. Like that's how bad they were going. For a team, they probably wouldn't have been too far ahead again of Liberatore or Viney or whoever holds that record in their record-breaking game at halftime. That's just fair income abysmal. And the amazing thing is they only lost by 3 goals.
Well, they were playing Essendon.
Yeah, I know. Like, does that make them both shit, Dan? Or are either of them average?
Geelong I would put in the average category. Essendon are just shit.
But Essendon won.
Well, sometimes shitness
Any given Sunday.
can overcome. Yes, any given Sunday, as Morgan would say.
As Morgan would say. It's your phrase now, Morgan.
Get fucked. But seriously, I think Geelong are the most pathetic two-man team there's ever been. They are fucking gunk. Gunk. I hate them.
Who was their best player on the weekend?
Menegola?
Menegola. It's just like, apart from Menegola, basically...
Well, Hawkins did kick 4, though.
Duncan was alright, but...
But, yeah, like, for the most part, all these players who look so good when Geelong are winning because Dangerfield and Selwood are doing as they please, all these players look shit as soon as Dangerwood can't get going. Like, they get exposed so badly. They're flat trackers.
So telling me that Andrew Mackie is not a shit player? Oh, he's a shit player? I'm shocked.
Well, we've always said that because he's soft as butter, but yeah.
Even that cunt got All-Australian.
He did. But back then, Cam Mooney got an All-Australian too.
All you had to do was play for Geelong to get an All-Australian.
They had like 9 in 1 year, didn't they? Something like that, in 2007.
Yeah. Well, the most they ever had in a year, I think the most anyone's ever had in a year was 2008. And of course, they turned up on the big day and lost. That was the year they had 9 or 10.
Of course, the Hawthorn supporter knows.
Yeah. Any excuse to talk about 2008, eh?
Always good to remind Geelong supporters of the most recent grand final encounter between the two teams.
Anything else out of that game? Do we want to talk about how it was the country game?
Country game.
Played at the MCG?
Not in the country.
No. Or was it called the country game because it was played in Australia, the country, as opposed to the China game? Is that what it meant?
I thought it meant we got to watch Tom Hawkins like milk a cow or something.
Eat a cow.
Oh no, I think it was Tom Hawkins be milked like a cow. Don't be utterly ridiculous, Peter.
I know
that's
that's
all right.
That pun moved me.
What? Have you got beef with me, Peter?
Well, even
I think
Dan's
we've
laughing.
milked this joke for all it's worth.
Goddard's going bald. That's always funny.
What's that got to do with cows?
I don't know. There wasn't much at stake in this game, really.
This has been a really good recording so far.
Absolutely. But no, Geelong, they went close, but really they just didn't have the cattle.
Oh,
Well, you're a natural barn comedian.
This is really awful.
this is so amusing. I just can't hide it. No? Okay. Cowhide? Anyways, doesn't matter.
Of course, Dan comes in with the buzzkill again. Just hoof it out of here, Dan.
Oh, that's a horse joke.
You probably say nay to that.
Well, they didn't really go hell for leather in this game.
Let's just do the next hour of cow and horse.
I'll be happy as a pig in shit to do that, Dan.
E-I-E-I-O.
Old McDansy had a farm. E-I-E-I-O.
And he fucking hated it at the end.
There was one good thing out of this game. It was the James Kelly chairing off at the end.
I thought that was really nice.
Good gesture.
Yeah,
I thought that was really nice to see.
on both parts. Just, one side each. Go ahead and do it. It's about him. The result obviously matters, but if you're going to, you go there, you give the guard of honour. Obviously, both teams win or lose, and that was a nice touch.
I love
Grade A
little
prime
like
respect.
I thought it was really nice. I like those little touches where it just seems sincere and like it just like a genuine thing. It wasn't orchestrated. It wasn't plastic. It wasn't anything but something just for James Kelly. I thought it was really nice.
Yeah.
Good by both of them.
The 300 one I get completely, but do you think he'll get chaired off in his last game?
Yeah.
Do you think he's been the sort of player that warrants?
I
I'm on the fence. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm not entirely sure though.
Dan, see,
I think it's just
there's a
luck.
whole buzzkill we forgot completely about that Dan doesn't like players getting chaired off or guards of honours or anything.
Hey, look, the Reece Shaw one shits me. Who else?
You
Who
know,
else
Joel
got a
Bowden
shout?
got one.
Oh, no, he didn't. He did not. You're just
did. He
pulling
did.
my leg. He did not.
Oh,
he
No,
did.
he didn't. Okay, well
when
now
Ryan
you have
Burton
to find-
eventually retires in 15 years, he'll
shut up,
one.
Pennell. You have to find footage of him spoiling Jonathan and him getting chaired off.
I didn't say he got chaired off. I said he got a guard of honour.
That's even worse. You have to find that footage.
I think that the reason that James Kelly probably left was so that he would get, like, his supporters would be there to acknowledge his 300th. Because if he was still playing at Geelong, we know how they treat their...
Hang on, this isn't his last game completely though, is it?
No, it's not. No,
He's not
it's-
retiring now, is he?
No, but
Oh,
it's
no.
his 300th. Fucking
Okay.
No,
sorry.
because the
a
season
big
doesn't
deal.
end at round 8, fuckwit.
or
but
10.
yeah,
round
You'd
10.
like it to.
Some players retire during the season. It's not unprecedented.
Well, James Kelly's not joining the CFA, so he doesn't need to.
And then quitting anyway because he wants to
Big
join
thing.
Channel 9's Sunday Footy Show.
There's no Kane Corns.
Let's move on. The Demons had an unprecedented win over the average Adelaide Crows, who aren't going to play finals
What
according
the
to Dan, so
hell?
it's not a real win.
How did this happen?
Well, I don't know. It didn't look like it in the second quarter when the Crows got about 26 points up, I think it
Well,
was.
if anyone knows how it happened, it should be you, Dan. I thought all teams were just average.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean upsets still don't happen. I mean, this is just
14 of the last 17 goals they kicked.
Yeah, shit. That's
Without a ruckman.
yeah. They had the pedo bear rucking for them.
It was
Right.
like 8 goals to 2 or something at some point, and you thought, oh, geez, this is going exactly the way the Richmond game did, but fucking somehow Melbourne pulled it out.
Yeah, it was just... Did we sort of call this last week, though, that this could be a Melbourne win? This sort of
No.
Melbourne thing.
We
did.
called their disappointment against the Hawks, so
Yeah.
and then
Nobody said it
probably
last week.
said, well, we reckon they
No,
could bounce
I'm
back.
pretty sure your words were, this is exactly the game that Melbourne win, and then they did.
Just teasing, but you know what? It's a pretty good way to tease.
Clayton Oliver, completely unprecedented.
He is so unprecedented.
Yep, that kick to handball ratio. Never seen something that crazy in my life.
Rockcliffe-esque.
Oh, don't bag Clayton Oliver, mate. Or actually, no, we know. Sorry, that's a compliment to be a compliment because Cookie loves Rockcliffe.
Why is Cookie picking on his own players?
Nothing else on that game.
Ever since we talked up Rory Sloane, he's played like shit. We've put the mockers on
Yeah,
him.
you guys went all goo 2 weeks ago, and the
Well,
taggers have been shitting on him for the last 2 weeks.
The key to beating the Crows.
The Brownlow still coming, is it?
Yes, it is.
The Crows are very Geelong-esque in
He's
that
been
way.
getting
If you-
donuts in Brownlow votes for the last 2 weeks.
If you take out their superstar, Rory Sloane, if you can keep him quiet, the dominoes fall.
Yeah, poor midfield depth.
Yeah.
Shut down their main man, and
Hey, you guys
Yes.
were going on about Sloane being this best midfielder in the competition, and the taggers have just shitted on him for the last 2 weeks. What's going on?
Tagging has worked over the years, but teams abandon it for fuck knows what
So
reason.
he's not the best player in the
Yeah.
competition.
Well, you can tag just about anyone and keep him
yeah,
quiet.
plenty of players have struggled with a tag over the years. I mean, Ling and Crowley got Mitchell a couple times, and even Ablett's been
Yeah,
tagged
Crowley
out of
to
games.
Ablett. Like, no one could tag Ablett but Crowley. But for some reason, he always got him.
Crowley's influence was mainly inflated due to Fremantle being a really defensive, hard-nosed team. I mean, he
Well-
wasn't that good of a tagger.
Oh, well, he kept Ablett's numbers
Would
down.
you say he was average?
Yes, Penal, I would say he was average.
Dan, has there ever been a good footballer?
Says you who complains and shits on everyone.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think-
Pendlebury.
So, one.
Well, who else?
Maynard.
Maynard.
Maynard, Jesse White.
I never should have said Jesse White. Wrong,
Yes.
wrong. I named my cat Jesse White.
And you kicked the cat.
I would not kick the cat.
you kicked my dog.
You won't kick the dog and tell him fuck off. Jesse's here, he's listening. And he's been okay.
Hasn't hung up on anyone yet.
No, that was very funny when he hung up on you last.
Let's move on from that game. We've talked enough about Melbourne and the Crows to the historic China game. It was very historic. The crowd was, the stands were historically empty. There was even an historic castle and an historic soccer goal from Westhoff.
Really liked that castle. I thought it was a good site. We need more of that at stadiums in Australia, I reckon. Perth Stadium should have been built with an inbuilt castle
And a moat?
and a moat.
They can't build a fucking bridge.
Yeah, so you're not going to get any Ashes test matches at the new Perth Stadium because they couldn't get the footbridge right in time.
Yeah, so imagine if they had to build a fucking moat. There'd never be a fucking test match played there.
Well, no, you'd have to wait until the 2020 season, but I think it would be worth it. I mean, how fucking cool are moat?
Moats are
Would
pretty
there
cool.
would there be crocodiles in the moat?
Oh, there could be.
Well, there's
More
only
likely,
funny.
more likely
bad.
great white sharks, though.
Oh, well, that'd be really cool. Now it's interesting with laser beams. Freaking laser beams.
And then if you're in the stands with a crying baby, you can just pick it up and throw it in the moat. Right, Dan?
Hey, that's
Yeah,
your words, not mine. I didn't want to pick up the baby and throw it. Jesus,
You
didn't
just
wanna
wanted to
pick
get
it
it
up.
kicked out of the ground.
you're a savage. You're an absolute
Yeah, but
savage.
the only reason you didn't want to is because you knew that there were no sharks around to take care of it.
Of course, yeah. There were no sharks inside Etihad Stadium. You fucking tool. Jesus. Yeah. Anyways, do they charge people to attend this game in China?
Only the Port supporters who flew over.
Oh yeah, the
I
smaller
heard
warrior.
something about like 5,000 Port supporters went over to see this game.
I hope we didn't let them back.
What's wrong with them?
Well, they're Port supporters. That's a good start.
Why would you say that about the smaller warrior?
Is that the Survivor guy?
Yeah, he was there.
Oh, well, good for him.
Good for him. Yeah, good for him.
I don't reckon he paid for it himself though.
Right, well, there you go. He was
Well,
on the gravy train, wasn't he?
got a
Because he's a
freebie, did he?
minor celebrity.
But he's a Port Adelaide ambassador.
Is he the number one ticket holder because he was on Australian Survivor?
I don't think so, but he's an ambassador.
Oh, he's an ambassador. Oh. But he speaks to corporates and shows them around and things like that, does he?
I was on Survivor once. I changed the game.
Hold on.
No, he just wears Port Adelaide merchandise every day. So, well, get on Survivor.
Free advertising for the power, so they give him free trips to China.
Can we go on to the crab? Which was disappointing, but Gillen had a reasonable excuse.
No, apparently they were.
There's only a billion people in China.
drink.
I mean, come
No, Gil just said they were out the back having a drink. Except he forgot that last week he said there wouldn't be alcohol served at the game. So unless they were going out the back for a nice sip of green tea, he's a fucking liar.
you couldn't get
Liar of the
a
year?
drink at this game?
No, there was the liar of the year, Gillen. You're up there with Paddles, but you're not going to beat him because he's a fucking filthy, dirty liar. And Cookie's a liar too. He's on the list. I remember.
You couldn't get a drink at the game in China.
No, it was
Not only green tea and water.
Why?
You couldn't
Charlie Dixon couldn't have his
Chinese.
pre-match red.
What's wrong with them?
No
What-
cow.
No sake or anything like that? What?
That's Japanese, you fucking.
Oh, sorry. That's...
Dan
Sorry,
doesn't give a
sorry.
shit about Japan. Didn't you hear him before?
He doesn't give a shit about any other country or city.
Yeah, because I hate everything and I'm just a
Yeah,
narc.
it's like,
I
no,
don't like
I don't
anything.
care about Venice in Italy.
I've even forgotten what that was in reference to. But...
Electrified buses.
Oh yeah, the Thomas the Tank Engine thing. Yeah, cool. So no one attended this game, even though there's a billion people in that country. They weren't serving alcohol, and they bitched about the number 4.
But they still wore it.
They still wore it. Did he get booed? Did they boo him?
No.
There were no pies.
There was no fan engagement. It was very sterile.
Was it?
Yeah.
Nah.
They didn't manage to have him never tear us apart though. They had to just
So,
have that bit of plasticness.
What, they actually had that there?
They
Was
did
it in
actually,
Chinese, Mandarin?
No, in English.
Oh.
And yeah, when they were meant to play the Australian national anthem, they played the Port theme song by mistake.
So the Chinese think that the fucking Australian national anthem is "We've got the power to win."
So if there's ever the Olympics in China in the near future,
What,
they're
you
just
mean?
gonna,
You mean like 8 years ago, 9 years ago?
8 years ago.
Mean
No,
like
well, I mean, in the next time they have it over there, and an Australian wins a gold medal, they're just going to play the Port Adelaide theme song.
power.
It's history in the making, mate.
It's more than a sport. It's a joke. Oh no, that's tradition.
Such a terrible song.
We know. Let's stop.
So did Koshi deem this a raging success? Or not?
Everybody deemed it a raging success, apparently, even though the crowd was disappointing and the Suns didn't give a shit.
Didn't fudge the numbers.
Oh. NRL-esque. We are not the NRL. Stop fudging the numbers.
So which poor other club is going to have to?
No one's going to go.
Partake.
No one's going to fucking go.
The Gold Coast Kangaroos will do it next year.
Fuck off.
No one's going to do it. Gold Coast are out. They don't give a shit.
Is this a one and done? Is it?
Well, Port have to find an opponent, and apparently they're going to offer $1 million to a Victorian club, but I still don't think that's going to be enough to get anyone except maybe St Kilda.
North will take it.
No, you take $1 million from Tassie.
Yeah, and we'll take $1 million more. Trust me, this club needs money.
You fucking
But
whores.
I think the St Kilda thing depends on whether or not they can do anything with New Zealand or not. If they can't get it out off the ground, then they'll go to China.
I think New Zealand's 2 years off, so St Kilda might take the money for 1 year and then go to New Zealand. But I just can't see it happening. Like, who wants to deal with Koshi?
Oh, did you see fucking... They had the seating arranged at the pre-match event, and it had the names on the table were laid out. Gillen next to Koshi, next to Tony Cockring, and then they sat down. It was so awkward, and then eventually fucking Gillen had to do the awkward swap with Koshi so they wouldn't be next to each other. Fucking no one can stand Koshi. He's not respected by anyone in the business, so it might be hard for him to get a deal done.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, everyone in the AFL is going to know what the real numbers were for all the PR bullshit. That's why the price is $1 million, not 500,000 or whatever.
What was the capacity of the stadium that they were playing in?
25K.
And how many attended?
10,118.
That's poor. That's really.
Minus 1,000.
Country has 1 billion people in it. What's the give?
With all the free tickets and the number fudging and all that shit, they couldn't even draw 12,000.
Yep, China has spoken. We don't give a shit. Fuck off back home.
Yes, exactly.
So surely this could be seen coming a mile away.
Oh, we've been predicting it for
The Chinese
9 months.
are a race of people that is very set in their ways. They don't adopt new things into their culture.
Only if it wins them gold medals at the Olympics, basically.
They're not interested in this. They don't understand it, and they have no interest.
So we just need to wait for we need to try this again when AFL is an Olympic sport.
Pretty much.
Or we just not try it again.
Yeah, well, that would be better. Just stop, Koshi. Just stop.
How about you just stop? Stop trying to down our
you have this game in North Korea, and Kim Il-sung, or Un, or whatever his name is, will force the people to attend, and he'll fill the stadium.
No, because he'd say that he played and kicked like 1,000 goals.
Yeah, but that's okay. He can tell them whatever he wants because the real news will be back here. Like, and you know what? Koshi will probably get on that. Koshi will be like, it was a great contest between Koshi and Kim Jong-un, where it was Djokovic-Carey-esque, but Kim Jong-un still managed to kick 12 goals on Koshi. But hey, maybe they'll keep Port Adelaide and Koshi there. Like, he'll do something to piss them off, and they won't let him out, make him a political prisoner. And you know, no one's going to a negotiating table over Koshi.
Well, the cash cow might.
There's no way they'd let the cash cow into North Korea. Oh, we could have made cash cow jokes.
Yeah, I was trying to think of one.
He's a cow.
I was trying to think of a cash cow joke.
Next. Stop trying to think of cash cow jokes.
All right, Carlton St Kilda, which was best known for the sledging debacle.
Yeah, what was that all about?
I wish fucking Mark Murphy had kicked Carlisle in the head. I really do.
Thanks, Teach.
Like, Carlisle is a really unlikable person.
He's one of my least favourite drug cheats, to be honest.
Well, and the funny thing is, apparently a lot of the sledging took place because Carlton or Murphy called him a drug cheat. Well, he is a fucking drug cheat.
And Carlisle got one back. He had some good ammo for return.
He had some good ammo. What ammo was that?
Sam Gilbert fucked your missus. Sam fucking Gilbert.
He's not Nick Kyrgios. God, grow up.
So there's no truth to the rumour. He was just talking shit.
Fucked your missus. Sorry to tell you.
Yeah, of course there's no truth. Of course there's no truth to the rumours because Sam Gilbert only fucks schoolgirls.
Well, if there's no truth to it, then why did he respond so strongly about it?
Because Murphy went after Sam. Was it Carlisle when Carlisle got hit in the balls?
I thought the sledging came before that, and that's why he got stuck into Carlisle.
I'm saying, why has Mark Murphy responded publicly about it if there's no truth to it at all?
Because some things should be off limits, regardless of whether they're...
If it's complete bullshit, then you just ignore it.
No, regardless of whether it's true or not, it's not really somewhere you should go.
Because then people start thinking smoke and fire.
But I've heard from very, very, very many sources over the last couple of days that Sam Gilbert's not the only person that fucked Mark Murphy's missus.
There's a few St Kilda players who did it, plus a random Richmond potato.
A random Richmond? Still at Richmond?
Stevie Morris, high five.
Well, if it's a random Richmond potato, so we know it's not Joel Bowden.
Maybe it is Joel.
And possibly the greatest North Melbourne player of all times up there as well.
So is that actually true?
Ben Brown?
Well, I've heard that from at least 6 different people in the last 2 days.
I don't think so. But...
That sounds like almost one of those rumours that Like, I can believe the other ones. I just don't believe Carey. That sounds like one of those ones that has been said so often that Chinese Whispers has taken it around as Purple Monkey Dishwasher now.
Carey's had some good sorts. I wouldn't discard that entirely.
Carey's had some good sorts, but like that was quite some time ago.
Listen, the only thing Carey hasn't fucked is David King's brain, alright? That's already fucked enough. But still, it's just...
What's David King got to do with it? No one's fucking David King.
Because he's a dumbass, but that's a whole different other story. But yeah, Murphy sledged Carlisle. Carlisle sledged back. Murphy decided to have a go at Carlisle when he's injured. Saints players took exception. Sledged Murphy a bit more. Murphy cracked his shits. So yeah, he could dish it out, but he certainly couldn't take it back.
Yeah, I know all that. I'm just wondering why he would publicly respond to any of the like trolling or social media commentary about it if there's not a single bit of truth about it.
Because everyone just accepts it as truth if enough people say it, I guess. That would be
if you ignore it, then people will stop talking about it. I think he adds more fuel to the fire by responding to it.
I told you I was right. News.com article, Mark Murphy, Wayne Carey linked in sledging drama. Shocking new details have emerged surrounding the verbal abuse handed down by St Kilda players to Carlton captain. It was speculated Murphy was subjected to taunts regarding a supposed relationship between AFL legend Wayne Carey and Mark's wife, Jessie.
Carey just doesn't
So who's the random Richmond?
Well, they call him the king for a reason.
It's some, like, Terry Wallace special. Like Gordis or whatever. Gowdis.
Gordis.
Yeah, but it was a decent game to watch. I mean, Jack Billings played well. He 30-5'd.
Yeah, it's not quite a 16-6 though, is it?
Severos, Jack Steele, good lads. I'm making a big call. I know it's shock horror, but Bolton's probably the best tactician in the league.
Probably. Well, I'm so furious that we never sacked Harbaugh 2 years ago.
How did Dylan Roberts go? Is he still
Is he still all Australian or is he fallen off a Rory Sloane cliff?
Rory Sloane cliff.
Oh dear, you guys are a jinx. Seriously, you guys need to stop.
How's Paddy McCartan going in the VFL?
It's going good, building up. Going to drop Rewalt this week. Give him a good rest.
He's going to drop Rewalt.
Fuck off Geelong.
That's not.
Wait,
He needs a rest. He's playing VFL. He's building.
Is he playing VFL development or has he really stepped up?
No, he's been playing VFL for a while. I got it wrong when he said he was playing development.
All right, on to a couple of games that don't matter.
They all don't matter at this point. Trust me.
Hawks cruised over the Bryans. Anything on that?
Why are we even here?
Well, look, I reckon this game mattered, and I'll tell you why this game mattered. It was the great man himself, Liam Shields, his 150th game, and let's hope he does a big boy McAvoy and turns into a beast mode and goes into All-Australian form after passing that 150th game milestone.
What about the Brownlows? Is he still on par to get that?
Look, we might work up to it. We'll go for the McAvoy style All-Australian form this year. And then maybe the Brownlow's still on next year.
They'll make him half the player Joel Bowden is.
Sure.
But then again, he'll have a lot of competition for the Brownlow next year with Ryan Burton and Jaeger O'Hara.
Nothing else out of this game?
No.
Tom Mitchell is a beast. He's a great player. We definitely paid unders to get him.
Your team has so many good players for a team that's only won like 2 games of football.
That was a great bit of trading to only give up pick 14 for Tom Mitchell, and we ruined it by giving up 400 picks for O'Meara and Ricky Henderson 20 and 3'd. Oh, and speaking of fucking cow jokes, Josh Gibson really should have been put out to pasture. I mean, it's just sad now.
How long do we think it's going to take? Not how long do we think it should take, but how long do you think it's going to take?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe who's the next good team that we play? Maybe it'll take another 10-goal thrashing to bring it out. It's just
downside is Burton won't look so good anymore next to the shit truck that is Gibson.
No, because then we might play an actual defender, and then Burton will look even better. And then even Dan will agree that he's a lot better.
Is Burton a defender, or has he actually stopped opposition key forwards from kicking goals? Or is he just a stat merchant like Joel Bowden who gets the ball out of defence?
He's like a...
He's
a Joel Bowden. He plays defence and he racks up disposals.
Champion data average. Is it really good? Bet it's really good.
He's a more skilled Luke Hodge who can also play key forward if he needs to.
Oh, really? A forward version of Luke Hodge.
Has he belted anyone to boost his reputation yet?
So we've got a future premiership player who's going to win the Norm Smith medal. You hear that?
Yep.
I hope that happens. Just
And you gave him up for Jed Anderson.
Brownlow.
Let's move on. Colas have won 2 in a row. North came back to earth.
Sydney is another shit team that just decided to play well over the weekend.
Well, they have enough talented players on their list that if they actually, they all clicked at once, they could beat you.
Kennedy just went berserk. He nearly had it 30 times up until half-time. It was just crazy.
Kennedy and Hanbury gave a shit.
They did give a shit.
Which hasn't happened all
But
year.
they are shit. If that makes sense. Yeah, they smacked us. We got smacked in the midfield, and at no point were we chance of winning the game.
I didn't see a second of this game.
Same.
Yeah, I was busy.
You were busy.
No, I was there. I was going to say something else.
Oh, yeah, because you tried to get a kid evicted.
Yeah, I was on the train and I could see all the sad Richmond supporters on Richmond Station. I saw a couple of scarves on the tracks as well.
I saw a guy on the way out, and I hope it was his mate, because there was a guy with a Freo beanie, and the Richmond supporter basically takes off his head and throws it on punt road.
Oh yeah, it's funny because you got this platform that's filled with black and yellow, and then this one purple dude with a smile on his face.
Anything else on North versus Colas?
Yeah. Anyways, North. Who do we play? Sydney.
Fucking.
Had me scum.
No more on this game, clearly.
No more. Yeah, move on.
Let's go to the talking points, and we'll stay on North, and we'll discuss the North training complex. It's new and amazing, apparently.
Is it? Have they built it yet?
It's going to get built. Maybe once you pick up the $1 million from China.
Who's funding it?
China.
China.
Koshi.
Well, they're going to have to give us more than $1 million to build it.
Maybe you're going to share it with the fencing club again. Suze is going to buy 1,000 pavers, win the lottery and buy 1,000 pavers.
Oh, well, she might as well just fund it all and we'll call it the Susie Olsen training facility.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the melts on the North board?
Yeah, you have all these players with broken arms that never heal, and
You've got the medical centres run by Dr. Nick.
Hey,
And the cafeteria, all the pre-packaged vegetables on. They're about halfway.
yeah. Plastic plates.
Dishes never get done.
Every supporter that buys a membership gets a sticky tape wrapped up little gift.
Post-it notes everywhere.
Post-it notes.
Nescafe for the coffee.
Yep.
Blend 43.
I think that's where I think all the clubs are going to go, particularly if you're a club that's going to have your own VFL team and potentially a women's team, which is what North wants to do when they next expand. North wants its own women's team, and they're going to have a VFL team next year, so they'll need to get a bigger facility. Whether it happens or not, I'm not really sure.
Hang on. Sorry, just on that. A women's team. Can we go back to the fact that St Kilda are really keen on getting a women's team? And yet again, we have another St Kilda scandal involving, I guess, a lack of respect for women again.
For shame. For absolute shame.
No, but Cookie thought it was Cookie was defending the behaviour. You're part of the problem. Fucking St Kilda supporting.
Yeah, it's just fucking endemic attitude at the club.
They're trying too hard to shake the nice guys tag. They've been putting too many opposition players on their banners and giving guards of honours to Reece Shaw and that sort. Trying to get some mongrel, and they've gone too far.
You've lost sight of what it means to be a proper football club. You're just a bunch of scumbags.
We should focus our sledging for the banners against Hawthorn. I think that's a good course of action.
Oh, yeah, that's okay, yeah.
Yes. Leave the girls alone and stop focusing on opposition players on your banners, all right?
Be nimble and quick.
Anything more on North's facilities?
Why is this even it's not even a Bay 13 talking point.
Well, Cookie mentioned it.
If there was something funny about it, I would get it.
Yeah.
You know?
The funny part was they're getting a cafe, so the North players won't be pissed off.
Yeah, so they're getting you got to have a cafe at every AFL club at the moment. Clearly,
that's a North board joke. I've never really got that joke, but yeah, why not?
No, everybody. It's not. It's a St Kilda one. Seaford. St Kilda's players hated Seaford because there were no good cafes nearby. So now every club, especially if they build a facility outside the city, has to have a cafe.
Wait. You're saying the North players are complaining because there's not a good cafe?
No. They're getting one so that they don't complain. They're making sure there's one in there.
St Kilda players did.
Come on.
The St Kilda players complained there was no good coffee in Seaford.
So now everybody, they built one at Tulla, and I imagine everywhere else has one too. Like, who else has built a new facility?
What, and the clubs can't make
Dingley will have bloody fucking cafe using recycled beans from the tip.
Everyone these days has like their own like espresso machine, right? I mean, why can't the clubs just have one of that in there?
Oh, imagine if every club had a cafe and North just have a fucking kettle in the corner.
Hey, if it makes good coffee, then
Dad, if you have no good coffee, players aren't going to come to you. That's how it is. Coffee's a deal breaker, mate.
Josh Carley loves his cafe.
Well, coffee must be great at Hawthorn if they're getting Vickery and Henderson and
Yeah, they got the really.
O'Meara, I think, traded his kneecaps for a cup of coffee.
Morgs-esque comment, that one.
Not biting yet, but
It's really funny.
out knees in
Got no
coffee.
knees.
We'll trade kneecaps for coffee.
Stupid fucking Nathan Freeman should have gone to Hawthorn.
Let's move on. Next talking point. The ice allegations from fucking, what's her name? The NRL journo.
Yvonne Sampson.
Oh, please. Like, the sky is blue, obviously, that AFL players use ice. But seriously, if you don't get caught, you don't fucking get caught. Stop slinging mud just because your NRL players are too thick that they go out and get,
Hammered after an international.
Yeah, they walk up to a police officer and ask, do you have any cocaine that you confiscated, mate? You got any cocaine in the evidence lockup?
Yvonne Sampson says 2 AFL players were on ice, and in other news, water is wet.
Yeah, if she's in Sydney, we know who they are anyway. They both play for the Swans. But no, like, seriously, that's what the NRL players do.
It's cocaine and dogs for those guys.
Yeah.
And shitting in hallways.
If you're so sure of it, take some photos, because seriously.
The only thing NRL can claim moral high ground over any AFL team is Cronulla rolling over and getting it up the arse from Asada. That's it.
Correct.
Well, they played it well.
Like the AFL, we hide our drug use with quad strikes and injunctions.
And depression.
Yes.
And whatever cover-ups and scandals there are being not reported on or not caught out in the AFL, guarantee you, whatever's out there in the NRL 2 to 3 times worse that hasn't been discovered yet.
Seriously, if there's Mark Murphy style sledges in the AFL, I hate to think of what they're saying in the NRL. Just goes with the territory. If this was the NRL, the St Kilda players would have said to Murphy, Sam Gilbert fucked your dog.
Yeah, some dog would have been involved. Like my dog's been fucking your missus or something like that.
My dog fucked your cap.
I got nothing else. Let's move on to, well, the classic Hawthorn culture has claimed another victim, Morgs.
Oh, yes. Isn't this sad? I gotta find the dickhead's name.
Luke Sermon.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
sorry for him, especially when we can read about him in 2 years' time and he's basically Dale Garlett Mark II.
A poor bastard. He'll be fucking jacking houses and shooting up in the toes any minute now.
Yvonne Sampson will be like, calling him out.
Does anyone know if he lives at Hodgie's house?
This is a
Probably.
complete non-story.
Seriously, when are Hawthorn going to stop destroying young kids' lives?
No, I've got the inside scoop, all the intel on this, and it's not actually Hawthorn. Hawthorn are not the club that's actually destroyed his life. I'll tell you why he's retired from football, because he was just desperately afraid of getting a game against St Kilda and get sledged by their banner, because I've actually, from my inside sources, got a copy of the banner that St Kilda were going to roll out if he ever played against them. And they were going to roll out on the banner with, his name is Luke Sermon. He looks like Thurman Merman. He may be built like a truck, but we all know that he's a cuck. And he just could not face that, the prospect of that happening. So better
It's
for
not
everyone
like
involved.
he had to run through it or anything.
Retired.
I've got nothing else on that. I'm happy to move on from that.
Shame on you, Kilda.
Yeah.
You've got a promising kid's career with your mean banners.
We'll just move on to the awful trade period that's come up, and Brisbane Lions have only had an awful team for one season. They already can't keep their players, with Taylor Harris requesting a trade to Victoria, basically their marquee player. This would be like Tom Rockcliffe going, except that Rockcliffe's, far lower profile and less
Did
talented.
you say you're surprised?
Taylor's actually good.
Yeah.
It's the pit stop of the AFL. It is. That's what Lee Matthews
I know,
said.
but the funniest thing is, in the awful, you all get paid the same. Like, there's a pay scale. You either get paid at this tier or this tier or this tier. So she can't be going anywhere for the money. She's just saying, get me out of Brisbane.
Like, she was already on the most money. So she's probably going to lose money because Are they going to take marquee status away from somebody that's already got marquee
Well,
status?
Mo Hope maybe. Mo Hope was overpaid.
You're not coming to us, you dickhead.
Well, how do you know that? You could do with a real key forward.
Because Carlton
Yeah.
are the front runners, apparently.
Oh, brown paper
So-
bag.
But I mean, just look at Brisbane and their terrible culture. Can't keep a hold of their players. Despicable.
So they finish in the grand final and they still lose their best player. Sucked in.
See, this is where we need a good positive St Kilda banner. Just, congratulations Taylor House on playing blah 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 for the Brisbane women's team.
You don't have a women's team because you don't treat women with any kind of respect or dignity. Arseholes. You should have no banners.
Do we want to mention why we think she might have left? Any other reasons she might have left Brisbane? Do you want to speculate?
I heard that she was following Tom Rockcliffe down. She
Right.
wants to leave. He's leaving. They're both threes.
I'll say she wanted to get away from Rockcliffe or from NRL players.
Mm.
It's funny because she's from Queensland.
Yeah, I know. Like literally Queenslander leaving.
What?
Yeah, she is. She's from Queensland.
She's from Queensland and she wants out.
And the women's
Jesus.
team's only been there for a year and already they're having player retention issues with local players who aren't getting a pay rise to leave.
Bad enough when you have people from other states wanting to leave, but when you have your own people from your own state wanting out.
But,
Yeah.
So this
How-
girl's
how
gonna
did-
have
how-
to move and
How did Brisbane even get a women's team in the first place?
Well, someone in Queensland had to get one.
Did they? Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. Still, I mean,
oh, they didn't do too badly. They were
Yeah.
undefeated
Yeah,
last
until the
game.
grand final.
that's true. Well, I guess I'm more sort of thinking about Brisbane, the club, and being a shambles.
Oh yeah, but this is just the beginning. Wait till the rest of them realise they can get out of Brisbane.
Oh, it's going to be.
Well, how does that work?
bloodbath.
Can anyone just sort of say, "I'm leaving, see you later"?
Well,
or
no,
how
they
does-
say I want to trade to Victoria, and then eventually Brisbane will fold because they'll get nothing for her. Not that you can get much trading in the awful because there's no draft picks are worth anything.
Wouldn't be the first time a club called the Lions have folded.
Hi, Roy. The other thing from the awful is the father-daughter rule. Do we want to discuss that? Cookie, if only your club hadn't disgraced yourselves and got yourselves a women's team, you'd be able to play all those daughters that your players have.
Yeah, you'd have all these Nathan Burke's daughters, Tony Lockett's,
Danny
Robert Harvey's,
Frawley's.
Danny Frawley's.
Hey, Harvey has a
That's not
son,
that's not even mentioning all the illegitimate ones.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ricky Nixon. What a-
Oh.
you'd have all these legend. Oh, I don't want to see some perm-looking chick playing in the centre half forward for St Kilda. Yeah, you'd have all these legendary names playing in the women's team. Oh well.
Nothing else on that?
But Chris Grant might be the first whose daughter will come through.
Does Collingwood give Katie Sheen the
Yeah,
flick,
they-
or is she
No, they delisted her. They delisted her during the season.
top? That's so.
That's
so
cold.
brutal.
Real ice cold.
That's like St Kilda banner, ice cold.
That's fucking less respect for her than St Kilda would have shown.
Let's move on real briefly. Fox Footy and or Fox Sports or Fox Footy with the article about Bernie Vince and Rory Sloane. Oh, what a typo!
Well, at least it was a typo and not like the guy in Neil Perry's restaurant.
oh yeah, that was so bad.
I missed this. What happened?
Someone was doing a Facebook thing for Fox Footy, and instead of writing bigger, they probably put the substitute beat
niggler,
at the
niggler.
end.
They
I
meant to
would
write
like him
Niggler,
to be
but
a
they wrote
niggler,
Nigger.
is what they meant to
Hey,
write.
what's the sentence? Tell me what was said.
I would love him to be a niggler this week, is what they meant to write. You fill in the blanks on what they actually wrote.
Oh, wow.
Not a wiggler.
Dan wrote in the thread. How does he not remember
Dan,
this?
you wrote in the thread. How do you not know this?
Did I?
Probably didn't like it much.
I've got Alzheimer's. I forget stuff. I swear to God, I forget stuff.
But on the niggler thing, like
The receipt was much worse, but still.
good thing it was Bernie Vince the tagger and not someone else. Like I'm just trying to think of who might have
Harry O'Brien.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, if it had have been Harry, it would have been a story for the rest of the season.
Oh my god! Imagine how long he'd be in mourning for that.
Nothing else on Fox Footy. That's a pretty bad typo to make. Like some typos are, bombers spelt the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's just
Oh well. I mean, if it's an honest mistake, then so what?
questions. I think we'll begin. Cookie, you go first.
What is your favourite Richmond fuck-up?
Cochin deciding to kick into the wind.
It has to be Carmichael Hunt, just that whole story. And yeah, that's a moment that'll live on forever because he did fuck all else.
Except ruin their culture.
I'm going to say chairing Joel Bowden off.
Hey, we don't know if that actually happened. Starburn still has
I
to find
googled it, it happened.
I'm going to say Jordan McMahon because at least it got us Dustin Martins in the end. But, yeah.
Yeah, for now, not forever.
What about Tambling?
No, Dusty's not going anywhere because, St Kilda's the one circling, supposedly, but they're getting Tom Rockcliffe.
Dusty's coming to North Melbourne. Did you hear about that?
I see Dusty in a North jumper on Facebook this week.
No.
It's happening. He's coming.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Yeah. The dust has risen in the North.
We can match his price anyway. He's restricted.
I don't think you can.
He's restricted.
North are going to offer him $1 million plus.
We can probably pay that. We should pay that. We have the room.
I don't think you can. I think you're paying Stevie Morris all of your cap.
Fucking idiot. Bosk wants to know, extending the contract of which coach will end up hurting their club the most. Lyon, Hardwick, Longmire or Scott. Buckley has been excluded because it's apparently consensus.
Buckley.
Scott.
Hardwick.
I'm assuming he's meaning Chris, so I've got to go for Chris Scott.
Yeah, Chris Scott, yes. Well, I assumed that was a given.
I'm not giving him the answer he wants. Clarkson, fuck off, boss.
This week on the Bay.
Are you sick?
That wasn't even me that time. It was Cookie.
I was about to say, was that you sneezing against Dublin? Who's sneezing?
I wasn't sneezing. I'm coughing.
That was me.
Oh, it's you that's got SARS. Is that it?
I've got, SARS.
Went to China.
Or swine flu. Or cow flu.
Cow flu. Equine influenza.
Yeah, probably cow flu.
I got it from the cash cow because I got it from the I got it from the West Coast Eagles mascot, who is also the Fremantle Dockers mascot, who is also the Sunrise cash cow, who brought it back from China.
Thread of the week.
Richmond supporter optimism graph.
Oh, is that your big reveal?
That's the best thread I could think of.
Oh, I got a better one. It's from Red Vest as well. James Kelly is a good bloke. The anti-Bob Murphy Goofest thread talking up how Kelly was far more deserving of the 300-game Goofest than Bob Murphy. And yeah, that one delivered quite nicely. I seriously thought that was the one you found because I found that going back and I remember that from early in the week. That was a good one.
Jack Billings, 30 and 5 club from Plugger. Good thread.
We have a 20 and 3 thread, Plugger. I don't know who it's named after anymore, but...
Ricky Henderson, probably.
Ricky Henderson. Has Clayton Oliver 20 and 3 yet? Because that would be unprecedented.
Yeah, 3 kicks and 20 handballs every week.
I like Hawthorne, a.k.a. The Buy. That was also a good thread. Very subtle with its trolling.
Speaking of very clever, subtle trolls, I did enjoy Lance Uppercut's effort on the main board, which I think will Joe Danaher be the next player to kick 100 goals? Yeah, reel in a lot of fish.
That's what he does. He reels in fish on the main board. He's very good.
Battle of the Umpires, Pets, West Coast versus Barfoot was also decent.
Let's segue from that. What are we going to give thread of the week to? Because my flog of the week was in the West Coast Dogs thread.
Just give it to Vesti. He had 2 good efforts this week.
Okay, Vesti. Yeah, Vesti. Not that we give it to a poster, but sure, one of your threads, Vesti. Take your pick. Doggy's 1972 for my flog of the week for his basement melt. And all the it was quite a melt for a supporter base that only just recently tasted premiership success. They have not taken the backlash all too well, and I thought Hawthorn were precious when they won, but oh boy, man, he's top of the list. Who else we got?
Lethality for fucking being a spammy cunt of a fucking waste of semen.
Is this for the you didn't win, your team won?
No, it's every thread. Just every thread.
I noticed he started on AFLX again after a long time off. I was just like, oh.
Give him Flog of the Year already.
I'm going to nominate someone who hasn't been nominated in a while, but needs a whack this week. And it's the original Dan Smasher.
Oh.
Again, it's a mainboard thread. He said, let's go back to the old out-of-bounds rule. And I said, finally, he's making some sense. Yeah, I agree. Let's go back to the old rule. But no, in the first line he says, get rid of the stupid deliberate rule. Go back to last touch. And I'm like, what the fuck, Smasher?
Oh, no.
Let's just get rid of Ruckman entirely. You fucking idiot. Yep, he can have my nomination. Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with Ruckman.
Ruckman. What are you talking about?
You got last touch, you got no throw-in. So.
Yeah, you've got no Why would you have Ruckman on the side if you don't have throw-ins?
Fair call.
You have bounce, you have ball ups.
Yeah, it'll be a bit different because everyone just put their tallest mids up against each other.
Yeah, you'd have a team full of Cameron Petersons. I mean, you wouldn't have conventional ruckman at all. Brody Gundy, see you later. Go back to working at the fish and chip shop.
Brody Grundy works at the fish and chip shop.
With your Japanese... Oh,
The other thing about that is, did anyone else notice in the games this week, the deliberate rule basically went back to the old rule this week? They hardly
Yep.
paid a single one.
yeah, very
They
reaction
paid the deliberate. They paid the deliberate over the goal line one in the North game.
Oh, they
That
did.
was the right call, though.
No, it wasn't.
He was like 20 metres out and he whacked it through under...
20
He was
metres?
like, No,
No, he wasn't that far out.
no.
It was outside the zone, though. 9 metres.
There's a
Well,
zone.
right call.
yeah, there
if it's
is.
9 metres, if it's 9 metres, he was 6 or 7 metres out from the goal. He wasn't.
The
nine
freaking
plus.
goal square is 10 and he was like 6 metres outside the goal square.
The goal square's not 10.
Yes. Oh, fuck. Yes, it
It
is. Yes.
So from the goal line to the end of the other
Yes.
triangular line is 10.
Triangle line.
Okay, all right. I stand corrected then. All right, I'm not gonna.
Do you know how wide the goals are? I'll blow your mind here.
6.4 metres
Yeah.
top by 9 metres.
Yeah, 6.4 metres wide the goals are, Dan. It's actually quite wide. You could fit Tom Hawkins through there.
Sideways.
Well, goes without saying.
Well, then why do the umpires allow the cheapy little kicks to the side from the kickouts then if they really are?
Because they
only
go
6
15
metres?
metres.
They don't go 15 metres.
Yeah, they do.
They go like 10 metres.
They only go
Oh,
15
that's
metres
nice.
for Hawthorn, and they do not go 15 metres for St Kilda.
Oh, God. Dan, if you thought the goal square was less than 10 metres, and you were thinking those kicks were legal as it was, clearly they are longer than you think, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I stand corrected.
Okay, can I go to my nominations now?
Go.
Are you fucking done yet, cunts? I got 2 from the Collingwood board, and they're in the autopsy thread or whatever, like we've just been killed thread. And this one guy goes, worse I have felt after a loss in 15 years. And that was chest bruh. And then says same. And I was like, really? I go, we've lost 3 grand finals in that space of time and you feel worse today? Oh.
Short memories. Penal, did you nominate a flog of the week?
I called Smasher, so sticking with that.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll second Smasher.
I will happily third it. Anytime Smasher gets nominated, I
I think
back
this
it.
is Smasher's first actual win, other than just Dan nominating.
No, I think Dan said last year Smasher should be like joining the man with no name category of perma nominated.
Yeah, perma nominated, but
Yes.
never winning.
I think I said something on the
He's basically finishing ninth, really.
a Richmond joke.
Smasher wins. I heard 3
Smasher.
noms. That's majority. Last week's poll, who is St Kilda most likely to recruit in 2018? 4.3% said Dusty, 4.3% said Josh Kelly, 17.4% said Jack Watts, 26.1% said Nat Fife, and 47.8% said Tom Rockcliffe.
Oh, welcome.
Next week's games, what coin have we got, Cookson?
Oh,
Oh,
we
my
have a-
favourite segment on the podcast. Here we go.
We have a choice of
well,
3 coins.
Dan,
Well, we're not getting-
you
we're not
hate
getting the-
you hate everything. You hate the intros.
Yes,
you hate
of
the
course.
coin. You
Yes.
hate Gore
Yes, I
tears.
hate everything. Yes. Why am I even
He
here?
just wants bad.
He's
I just
yeah.
want my badge to go.
He's in it for the bling.
Here's what we have. We have a 1949 Deutsch coin from Germany. 10 Peppening. Yep. So we got the 1949 coin. We got a French coin. 5 francs.
Oh,
And
they
a
all
2
sound the same when you flip it.
and a 2 franc coin.
Do any of them have wings?
Yeah, what's the most ridiculous looking one?
I want to see a prawn with wings
Yeah,
on the front.
what's this week's head and tail?
Is there a snail with wings on the front?
We got Lady Liberty and a bunch of flowers. More flowers, another Liberty bitch. A big coin and what appears to be marijuana leaves on the German coin.
I think we go with the French one with flowers because Dan's a flower farmer.
That's funny.
Geelong doggies.
Lady Liberty heads, flowers tails.
Sure, why not?
Well, trying to get a consensus here.
It's a very important segment.
Shut up.
It's tails.
This
Dogs.
So that was the flowers that popped up, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Saints colours.
Lady Liberty, so St Kilda.
St Kilda play well at Etihad. Oh no, it's an Adelaide joke. Can't say that.
Fucking. Oh, Dan's got back to going grumpy again.
If you just gave him
What?
his
What?
badge, he'd be
Oh.
fine.
Yeah, just put me at ease, will you? Come on.
It's just like putting something in the kid's mouth, isn't it, to stop him crying, right?
Yeah, right.
That's you said. Hey, you said that, not me. You said that.
No,
I never.
you said that.
No, I didn't say that.
No, Penal said Rolf, but you said putting something in its mouth to shut it up.
Okay, well maybe I did say that, but I mean, I wouldn't.
maybe I did say trackord.
I'll just flip the coin already. Come on.
Yeah,
hurry
flip the coin, GW Richmond.
We're going for GWS.
Brian's Crowbots.
Brian's. Fucking
Adelaide,
optimistic. That's
the
cool.
best team in the competition.
No, but they're just average, Dan.
They are just. I'm telling you now, they will not make the 8 this year. They
Fuck.
won't.
Well, depends on how many games they played Eddie had, mate.
Okay, Hawthorn will beat Collingwood.
Essendon West Coast.
We are going for Essendon.
Melbourne North. Bet you
They've
Melbourne
not lost
lose this one.
Melbourne in 15 years.
And they're expected to beat you, so they'll lose.
Coin wants North to win.
Of course it does.
And Freo Carlton.
It's going for the Carlton Cucks.
Anything we want to add on any of the games before we wrap this up?
Morgs, do you give Collingwood a chance?
Yes. No, I don't know.
I have no idea
Well-
who to tip in that game.
Nah.
I reckon look to the middle of the ground, big boy McAvoy to put in a dominant performance and show everyone why he should be the All-Australian ruckman and not that Grundy fraud.
You're the fraud here, Penal. You wanted him gone round 2.
Yeah, it's true. You were shitting on him like 3
Yeah,
weeks ago.
you Mackied that call. You just backflipped on it.
He needed a spray and
and he's responded.
sprayed him
Is
into
that
action.
Coach
He's
Penal.
responded.
Coach Penal. And if you don't play it well, you're getting the egg.
Do we have any more on the games?
Shit versus average for every game this year. Pick whoever. Fuck Jose for being on top of the tipping, actually. New flog of the week. Fucking
What?
Jose.
How the hell did Jose get on top of the tipping competition?
Hey, there's a badge for top tipster, Dan.
Oh, fuck.
How is he on top?
Well, clearly he's picked the most winners.
Yeah, I know, but how? He's not a knowledgeable person. He's Jose. He's a little runt. He's a garden gnome. What would he know? Come on.
Come on.
Not right. It's just not right.
You seem upset, Dan.
Well, apparently I've been upset for the last 2 or 3 hours. I mean,
Oh, the last 2 or 3 years.
This has been the Flogcast for round 9. Starburns joined by Dan.
there's only 1 round left in my in my competition. There's no
And
fight.
Dan,
Morgs,
Yeah, bye. Fuck off, Dan.
Thanks, Morgan.
Peensy.
what's the difference between an SJW and a suicide vest? The suicide vest actually accomplishes something when it's triggered.
And Cookson.
Top quality joke, Penal. Top quality joke.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you for the season finale next week.
Yes.